another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
And just like that, we are back.
Happy Friday.
Yep, happy Friday.
Cheers to the Friday.
And guess what? It's sunny outside. The rain is gone finally.
Finally.
Leave us alone, damn storm.
Oh my gosh.
Flooding, storms, water, like enough.
I'm going to get my car washed.
Oh, that's going to feel good.
Yeah.
Nice and clean and
so
fresh.
Good because I hate...
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to get the little Lexus clean probably later today. It's just dirty, filthy. You know, you're dragging in dirt from the ground, mud.
Yeah, I like to do that after a rain.
Yeah.
After a bout with rain because, ugh, I hate a dirty car.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just can't stand it.
It makes you feel dirty.
Yeah,
I get like that
clean.
too. Like I start feeling dirty.
I just like it clean. What can I say?
Yes.
How's it going?
Going good.
Everything's
Going good. Yep. Because my cold shower this morning woke me right up. I was tired, but that zapped me right up.
Your little deficit is good?
My who?
Your deficit. Like you're in a deficit. You're in a fat loss phase,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah.
Training like twice a day sometimes. Staying busy. Keep myself active and moving. That's the main thing. Stay active and moving.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Don't sit around too much.
Let's see. What do I have going on? Oh, I wanted to tell you. I was reviewing the stats for the podcast. I was just really like looking at, are we growing? Are we becoming part of more people's lives?
Or are we boring and people hate what we
or
have to
are people
talk about?
dropping off? Because if people are dropping off, that would be a problem.
That'd be a problem.
Right? Because we're dedicating so much time to this. But no, it's growing.
Good.
It's growing.
Thank you guys.
I was looking at the stats just year over year, and it's crazy how much it's grown.
And it's crazy because there's so much competition. There's millions of podcasts out there, but very few ever get off the launch pad. Because it takes years.
You know why? You know what's so funny? Because with everything else, what do I always talk about with weight loss or whatever? Yeah. What does it require?
Patience.
Consistency.
And consistency and time. It does
you
take
have
time.
to be consistent.
Consistency is the most important.
Because your audience needs to know when they're going to get content. You have to be consistent.
Yes.
You can't just throw up a podcast here and there because you'll fall out of their rotation.
Yeah, of course. Then they're not going to follow you. They're not interested in what you got to say. Like, oh, it's just here once a week, once every 2 weeks. No, that doesn't work. It's part of everybody's routine. Like me, when I go for my walks, I listen to some podcasts on YouTube or I listen to Joe Rogan. You know?
Yeah. So it's growing, and I think thanks to everybody that listens. Like, it's amazing.
Thank you guys.
And this is like the Podomatic stats. So these are the stats of the actual people who are listening. YouTube is growing too. So it's starting to grow. It's like different audience over on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I do want to say something that we are thinking about doing. And if you're watching us on YouTube, sound off in the comments. Let us know if this is something you guys would be interested in. But it will also be a regular podcast and on YouTube, but doing coffee breaks, where several times during the week we will have shorter, very topic-specific episodes.
Yeah.
Little coffee breaks, basically. Little, like, 5-minute, 10-minute on a very specific topic or a very specific incident or headline or, weight loss or supplement or whatever,
Yeah.
And so we are thinking about doing that. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. Because...
please let us know.
Yeah. It would help us just to get an idea if you'd be interested in. As always, if you are loving the podcast, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
We greatly appreciate that, you guys.
Okay, hot coffee. I have a hot coffee right off the presses that I just read. Alec Baldwin is going to be charged.
Huh?
For involuntary manslaughter in that murder of the director, or I don't know which her position was.
No way. They're going to charge him.
They're going to charge him.
How's that possible?
They announced it negligence on the set, and after reviewing the evidence, the investigators turned over the evidence to the DA at the end of October. The DA has reviewed the evidence and decided to charge not only Alec Baldwin, 2 other people, but one person took a plea deal already. So he's probably cooperating.
Of course.
Took a plea deal. And they're going to file charges on the other 2 people. How do I feel about it? I don't know. Obviously, there's reasons why they feel that there's negligence. and if you have to think about it from the side of the family, if they feel like there was real negligence and they lost a family member because of it, they want someone to pay for
Somebody
that.
did that on purpose. Who the hell put a loaded bullet in a... I thought these guns were supposed to be prop guns, but I guess not.
Well, I don't know. That's what the we don't know if someone did it on purpose. We don't know anything about the investigation.
Yeah.
And they're not saying they said involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
What that means is according to their investigation, it's negligence of proper procedures for having weapons on a set they were not adhered to.
Yeah.
And so who then becomes responsible? The executive producer.
Wow.
Becomes responsible. So that's where Alec Baldwin falls in. Ooh. So do I feel like he's going to be convicted? I don't know. It depends on the evidence. I'd like to know the evidence. I love that kind of stuff. But if anything, even if maybe their case is not strong, I think it's to send a message. You know what I mean? Like
to tell Hollywood, tighten it up.
Yeah, tighten it up.
And not to get too off topic here, off subject, but you know whose son died that way on set by accident? Bruce Lee, Brandon Lee. Mm-hmm. We for sure there was foul play there, 100%. 100%.
Oh, so that wasn't negligence. That was foul play?
That was the majority of us believe that was foul play, that they wanted to take his son out because the name Lee. There's a lot of things behind it, but yeah, it's crazy.
Who knows?
That shouldn't be happening though.
But yeah, so I really think it's to send a message, because when you realize you can be held personally liable.
Yeah.
Because now that he's charged criminally, guess what that opens up? Civil.
Oh, 100
for sure. And civil.
They should be compensated.
Civil
100%.
has a lot less burden standard.
Yeah, their family get paid. I mean, they were negligent. There's no way to wrap around it.
That's a hot coffee. On to one other topic that's a hot coffee topic for me. We didn't actually talk about it on the last episode, and I just probably slipped my mind. But the death of Lisa Marie Presley.
Oh, sad.
That one hit me. It just was a knife in my heart. I loved watching Elvis movies growing up. My mom loved Elvis.
So you remember when she was a little girl too?
Yes, I just remember. I don't remember. She's older than I am, but I just remember her as a little girl through movies, through learning about the family, through everything, through my mom. And fun fact, I was potentially going to be a Lisa Marie.
Oh.
So what happened was my mom and my aunt were pregnant at the same time, and my mom had already picked a name. This is the story per my parents, by the way. My mom had already picked a name, and that was Janine, and my mom loved it. It was a newscaster that my dad loved called Janine Yoma, Channel 4 News. And she shared it with my aunt, who was pregnant also, but a little ahead of her. So she was going to have her baby first.
Yeah.
And my aunt was going to take the name. She had kind of wanted it, and so she was like, oh, maybe I'll name my daughter Janine. So then my mom was really upset, and she did a little...
Wait. Hold up. She was going to name your cousin Janine too?
Yeah, because my mom hadn't had me yet, and I think my mom shared some names with her, and she was going to pick that name. And according to my mom, this is according to my mom and my dad. So then my mom, in order to shift her to a different name, thought, because the backup was going to be Lisa Marie, because after Lisa Marie Presley.
Yes.
And my mom told my aunt, how about you name her Lisa Marie after Lisa Marie Presley? My aunt got all excited, decided to go with that name. My mom got the name Janine back, and hence
funny.
My cousin, who's probably listening right now, got the name Lisa Marie. And yes.
What's your middle name though?
Marie.
It is Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not tripping.
Janine Marie.
Uh-huh.
So
you got a little part of the name.
Yeah, I still got a little part of it. Yeah. But yeah, so that is a fun fact. My aunt and my mother loved Elvis and named her Lisa Marie. So she died on January 12th. They don't know. They've done an autopsy, but they don't know what cause of death. But obviously it was cardiac arrest, but we don't know what led to the cardiac arrest. I saw her a few days before on the Golden Globes because Austin... whatever that guy's name is, Austin Butler was nominated for the movie Elvis.
Yes.
She did not look well.
No.
She looked very ill.
The look in her eyes reminded me of the look of the eyes in her dad. Remember when that last performance he did?
Yes.
It looked like he was just glazed over, like he was there but wasn't there.
Right. She looked very ill. She needed help even kind of walking. She looked very ill. So maybe there was things that we don't know in terms of her health. But sadly, she lost her son in 2020 to suicide at 27 years old. And she became a recluse after that. Yeah. She literally has hardly been seen since she was very close with him. They had matching tattoos.
Is this her firstborn?
Yes. Her firstborn son.
And I know that
he died of suicide, and it's just heartbreaking. And she was just broken after that. But the cause of death is to be determined. I mean, she struggled with drug addiction off and on. She actually got addicted to opioids from a prescription. Similar to her dad.
It's always these damn prescriptions. And these doctors are never held accountable, dude. They all get free passes. She
had a hospital stint, got prescribed opioids, got addicted, spent many years of her adult life kind of like in and out of rehab. One thing I didn't know about her was she practiced Scientology with Priscilla for quite a few years.
I didn't even know her mom was into Scientology.
They were. I don't know if Priscilla is now, but Lisa left Scientology years ago, like over a decade ago. But she was part of all of that.
Oh, man. They're weirdos. Sorry, Scientology people, but that's my opinion of it.
I'm not a fan.
No, not at all.
But the interesting thing is, gosh, she like met the same fate her dad had. You know? Her dad, I think his official cause of death, people always think, or they say overdose. He did not actually die of an overdose.
No.
His drug abuse may have contributed, obviously, to his heart disease and all of that.
Yeah.
But he actually died of heart disease, of heart failure.
Yeah.
At 42.
42.
That's very young.
His diet was bad, that's why. Like, super bad, from what I heard.
His diet and drug abuse and sleep and everything.
Oh, yeah,
his lifestyle medicine, which is what? Lifestyle is the leading cause of chronic heart conditions. Yes. We know this. Mm-hmm. And it also is just a big reminder, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but how your parents and your family and their health and is a window into what you can expect.
Yep.
You know, we talked about this just on the
last
episode.
You gotta know what's in your bloodline and get ahead of it. Don't wait till it's too late. So if you know, like me, I have had blood pressure, I gotta be ahead of it, because if not, I'm gonna have a stroke and possibly die.
It's crazy, scary. Does your dad take blood pressure medication?
Oh yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a
I wonder,
survivor.
like, what his blood pressure is.
I don't know.
And I wonder if they monitor it and all of that.
I'm sure they do. One thing about him though, he moves. He's up and moving. He doesn't stay sedentary. He loves to walk.
And he's got
75 years old.
He's
got disabilities. You see, he has a hard time with his balance. And he's a stroke survivor. He's had several strokes, so he hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, one side of his body is...
He struggles, yeah. But he gets up and moves. Doesn't stop him. He gets up and moves.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's why I'm saying, if your dad can walk the streets and hills of San Francisco with disabilities
and no cane,
at 75 years old...
Refuses. I told him, Dad, use a cane, a walking stick. He refuses. Like, bro... Like, you still have pride at this age? Come on, man. He's got pride, though. Like, Dad, you're 75.
I know.
You're not like a healthy 75. There's dudes that are 75 that are ripped and in shape. That's a different animal. He's a hard 75.
He's a hard 75. Yes. Yeah. I don't want to be a hard 75.
No, but we're not gonna. If we continue to do what we're doing now, working out, drinking water, your vitamins, eating good, getting rest, taking care of what you're supposed to do, we won't be a hard 75.
Yeah.
It's all in your mind. We've been told, you get 50, 60, you should basically lay down, prepare for death. It's coming soon. Nah, that's a bad advice. Get your ass moving even more. Don't use that crutch. That's a cop-out.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
You do. Gotta use it. Use it. Don't waste it. People waste it. It's wasted. They let the years just go by and they waste themselves.
Yeah, I was doing... In class this morning, I was doing something where I had to walk out to a high plank, touch my shoulders, and then walk back.
Hold on. Just explain that again.
So you're from a standing position. You're
going down?
You go down into a high plank.
Yes.
You walk out to the high plank, though. So you put your hand, and then you walk out to the high plank.
Yep.
Touch each shoulder, cross body, and then you walk your hands back into a standing position.
Yep. Do that all the time.
And I just thought to myself, like, this is good to have the ability to do this. In the moment, I really was appreciating my body for the movement.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of movement,
It is.
and you're basically touching, your hands are touching the ground, and you're standing up, so flexibility.
You're using your whole kinetic chain, too.
Yes. And so I was thinking to myself, like, this is something I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the ability to get on the ground and come back up. It's really important to be able to continue to do things like that so that you are able to do things like that.
That's why I'm a fan of body weight movement. I keep saying it. I love planks. I love burpees. I love pull-ups. All that stuff. Using your kinetic chain. Box jumps, jump squats. It's everything. Learn to use your body. It's amazing.
It's almost like you have to fall in love with yourself, like your body, like move. Fall in love with the process of movement.
Learn movement. You're right. Movement. It's all about movement. Learn. The next thing I got on my horizon, I keep saying it, but I need to get to yoga. Because I'm already, I'm already doing martial arts. Yoga's kind of a martial art in a different way.
You know what you should do is make that a goal for yourself. Say, you know what, sometime in the month of February, let's set a February goal, I am going to go to a yoga class, at least one class.
Yes, I need to do that.
Like,
you know what it is?
Specific.
You know what it is, babe? It's something new. And I've only done it one time, and I feel like when it's something new, I'm like, damn, I'm going to be uncoordinated. I'm going to be the uncoordinated guy. But you got to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere.
I know my body pretty good, but yoga's a different animal. You got to hold.
Yeah, you're going to experience, what do they call it, self-efficacy?
Yes.
You're going to experience that.
Yeah, but look, it's never too late. I'll be 48 next week. Not too late to start something.
I mean, I had to go through that through the process of attending Orange Theory.
That's true. You did. And now look where you're at. What, year plus now?
It's been a year. Well, I'm almost 400 classes in.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'd say I know what I'm doing at this point.
Just like me, I took up learning Muay Thai at the age of 33. I'm almost 48. Look at that. How many years went by? I'm glad I stuck with it. Love it. So again, I'm learning my body.
Yeah, who'd have think you'd start something new in your 30s and now you've been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah.
So start something new in your 50s
Doesn't
and in
matter.
your mid-60s, you'll have 15 years in. There's still time to become experienced at things, even as you age. And I've had to remind myself that.
We tap out too soon.
Before, like I said, not so much with health and fitness, because my mindset is pretty solid there. But in other aspects of my life, I find that I tell myself, it's too late. I'm already too old to achieve this or that or fix something or whatever it may be. And it's not too late. There's plenty of time. I'm only 46, but I'll be 47 very soon. 47.
You know what it is? We put limitations and we use these numbers. Like, oh, we don't have this. It's all BS. So many things people accomplish later in life. Like, not to get too off topic, this one lady took up jiu-jitsu at 50 and became a black belt by 60. You know how hard that is to do? She dedicated herself. It takes at least 15 years to be a black belt. Consistent. She did it in 10. That goes to show you, like, she put her mind to it. I seen another lady got either a PhD or a master's in her 80s. I'm like, dang, she went back to school. Like, that's amazing.
Wow.
To accomplish things like that. She didn't say, oh, I'm too old, I can't learn anymore. Because what we know, that's not true. Your brain can learn. It's always learning.
Yes, it's always
There's
learning.
no cap off. There's no, oh, I'm this age and I can't learn anymore. It's fake.
And the other thing that I wasn't aware of that the bones have the ability to the remodeling of the bones.
Yes, the remodeling.
So you can continue to like train your bones and strengthen your bones even as you are older. Even as you become older, you have the ability to, that's why walking is so important and staying mobile, because you can improve the functionality of your bones. And it's not like what you have is what you get and that's it.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
And a lot of the things in our body can, but like we recently were talking about, the heart though, the damage you do to your heart is permanent. The heart does not repair itself. You can prevent further damage.
Yes.
And you can, stop kind of like further damaging it, but you cannot undo the damage you do to your heart. So it's really important to like treat it well.
Yes, because you only get one. Chances are you're not going to get two in this life. Very few people get a heart transplant and live to tell about it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Take care of your heart, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't mess around with it.
Yeah, the heart is the last, in most cases, instead of like, not in the cases of like a heart attack, but like in cases of where you die from something else, the heart is the last organ to shut down. I learned that when my mom was in hospice. So the hospice nurse was kind of like walking us through the process of how the body shuts down, which besides the emotional stuff, I became fascinated with the science of it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of separate. I was able to compartmentalize the two. And the science of the shutdown of the body was just incredible. It's a very systematic process of shutting down.
Processes that you can't control internally that are going on.
Nope.
It's like someone's going in there and turning off levers.
Yeah,
little by
and
little,
it's kind of like they shutting down one organ at a time, and then when one's completely shut down, it rolls to the next organ, and it's kind of like the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, the heart.
Wow.
So that is why if somebody is dying like a natural death, they will have one last breath.
Yes.
But then they're technically still alive until their heart stops beating.
Wow.
The last thing to go is the heart.
Crazy.
So it's interesting. It's like a systematic kind of shutdown, but the heart is kind of like an amazing organ.
Wow.
It's so intricate.
It is very intricate.
It's crazy.
Hey, by the way, I like your sweater. It's nice. What is it, Lululemon?
Cute.
It's a nice color.
Lululemon.
Lululemon. I always make
He always
fun.
says Lululemon.
Yeah.
No.
I try to act like I'm French. I'm just joking.
It's not. It's actually
It looks comfortable.
CRZ Yoga is the
speaking
new...
of yoga. Oh, CRZ Yoga?
Yeah, it's a yeah, speaking of yoga. It's a company. I actually started working with them November. They had sent me some products and I fell in love. Like, I'm picky about my workout clothes. I'm so picky about it, and I fell in love with what they sent me. Like, it's Lululemon quality without being Lululemon. So I did a haul for them, and I found that how I know when I love something is when I constantly reach for it. So when I'm getting ready to work out every day, I'm always reaching for those products. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to them and see, like, hey, do you have an ambassador program? Like, I want to work with you guys regularly. I want more products. I love the stuff. I haven't done that with a clothing company in a very long time. It's been years. I'm very particular of who I work with. But anyways, so I started working with them, and I just did another haul. I love their stuff. It's very much Lululemon quality, inspired by Lululemon. Like, this is literally a dupe for the scuba hoodie that I'm wearing.
Oh.
And so the price point difference, so like a scuba hoodie, I think it's like $128
from
Lululemon.
Uh-huh.
This is $48. So what's that, 65% cheaper?
So you can get two for the price of one almost.
Mm-hmm. And I have a discount code for them, by the way. It's MRSCEOJ 10% off. I'll link it down in the description. I'm not kidding you guys. I really love it. You know that I only talk about products that I truly love, that I truly use. This is one of them.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I was happy with everything I got. I actually just posted a recent haul on YouTube.
I need to find more like nice workout clothes.
The stuff that we recently discovered from Amazon, I like the sweat brand. That was really good. What, the Gym People for You?
Yeah.
So we got to see what other products they have.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is if I get a product from a company and I like one thing, then I'll immediately go, okay, the quality is good. Let me see what else they have. So we got to look at the Gym People for You. And then I think it was like, what is it called? Into the Minute, Into the Moment. I don't know what the brand is, but it's your t-shirts that you actually usually wear on this podcast. You're not wearing one now, but I love those too on you. Those look good. You wanted me to order more, right? But size down.
Yeah, size down. Your boy's trimming down.
Yeah, I do. I linked those.
The large are getting baggy on me.
I linked those on my Amazon storefront. I have a men's fashion playlist or idea list there for any of you guys who are looking for stuff for your husbands. But all right, moving on.
Moving on.
Since most people right now in the month of January are in a calorie deficit, because that's when people do this. That's when they try to lose weight. They're trying. I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about calorie deficits, but I also wanted to say that I am going to be doing a challenge for my clients. It's still open. Registration's still open. But starting February 6th, I'm doing a 12-week transformation challenge. That there'll be prizes, there will be, motivation along the way, but just an opportunity to have something to work towards, because that just tends to help us mentally.
Yeah.
When you have goals, specific goals to work towards.
You got something to look forward to. You're motivated.
Yeah. So, I started this morning with an interesting text from a friend of mine. She has a son. He's an adult, but he's heavily into bodybuilding. But, he's always worked by himself. Mm-hmm. In bulking and trying to put on size and muscle. And he's done a really good job in that bulking process. But now he has a coach because he wants to be a competitive bodybuilder. So he has a coach.
Trying to go there, huh?
He's just 3 days into his cutting phase. And she contacted me because she was worried. She's like, this guy is starving. Like, he's starving. He's miserable. Something's got to be wrong. They've got his calories too low, She just we're going to test him for hypothyroidism. He's already lost 3 pounds in 3 days, panic mode. So I'm like, okay, let's dissect this a little bit. And this is good information for you guys who are maybe feeling the same way on your calorie deficit. Maybe not as dramatic. Maybe not dramatic. It might be easy to say oh gosh, his coach probably has him on too low of calories. He shouldn't be that hungry or whatever. But you got to collect data before you make an opinion. So I was like, well, approximately what was he eating before of this deficit? She thinks about 4,000 calories. He's a big guy, bodybuilding, so this is a lot, high numbers. Been doing this now for a few years, eating about 4,000 calories, lots of protein. I think his cut deficit, I think they have him at 3,000 calories. I was like, well, 1,000 calorie deficit in cut for competition prep, that'll yield you about 2 pounds of fat loss per week. It sounds pretty normal.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound excessive.
No.
For a man, 1,000 calorie deficit doesn't sound excessive. So, okay, that sounds about right. But she said, but he's already lost 3 pounds. And I was like, well, if he was consuming 4,000 calories and now he's consuming 3,000 calories, and the majority difference there, because his protein's probably pretty constant, is he's probably consuming 1,000 calories of less carbohydrates.
Yes, of course.
So that reduction in carbohydrates is going to cause water loss.
Yep.
So while, yes, he's probably also losing fat, I didn't feel that his calorie deficit was too aggressive. I felt like he's probably losing water, so that would explain that rapid drop after only 3 days, 3 pounds. And beyond that, what he's experiencing is hunger. Because
there's no way around it, you guys.
Welcome to the calorie deficit.
It's called going through the suck. We all got to go through it. That's what it is. Guess what, guys? I take cold showers now for a little bit over a month. It don't get any easier. I just got to go do it. I jump right in and it sucks every morning for 3 minutes, and then I feel great after. And let me say, I enjoy the process actually because it's a challenge. So same thing with losing weight. It's a challenge.
He's going through the suck.
Go through the suck.
And let me tell you, it is so easy when you get approached as a coach. And I was approached as a coach like a friend. I'm a good friend of this person. And I wouldn't coach a bodybuilder. So it's not like a competition thing where I'm trying to, take the client or anything. But when other coaches get approached, the first thing I notice a lot of times is they want to say that the other coach is doing it wrong.
Yep, always.
I challenge you not to do that. The advice I gave to her was, listen, I don't see anything alarming.
Did you break it down real quick? What he's taking in out of 3,000, how much protein, how much carbs? She didn't give that information.
No, I didn't get that.
All right.
That breakdown. Just generalized.
Yeah.
But what I told her was what he wanted to do, because they're telling him, contact your coach. This is crazy. They're nervous, right? And I'm like, listen, he's 3 days in. He's right. I agreed with him, her son. He's like, listen, let me tough it out. Let me wait until Monday, my check-in, and then I'll talk about it. I'm like, yeah, because what the coach is trying to do right now, not to say that these are the right calories for him, but the coach needs you to follow what you gave him, what you gave them, so that he can see how your body responded to what he gave you. If you start deviating because you're too hungry, I'm going to eat some more rice cakes or whatever, then he's not going to have good pure data come Monday to make adjustments off of.
Yep.
Because you really didn't eat what he set forth for you. And you're not dizzy, you're not passing out, you're not experiencing low blood sugar, you're just experiencing hunger. Welcome to the calorie deficit world of competitive bodybuilding.
That's it.
You're going to be hungry, you're going to be tired, you're going to be grumpy.
Yep.
You're going to be all the things. Especially if this is your first time ever experiencing being in a deficit. You've been bulking for quite some time. Most people fall into this category, by the way, not in a bodybuilder way, but think about it in a transformation way. You just came off the holidays, eating all the things.
Yes.
The cookies, the pastries, the treats.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, welcome to the suck, like you said.
That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. You got to go through it. There's no, I'm going to go around and be sneaky. There's no, I'm going to go under. You got to go right through it. That's it. Right through it. Don't give me that, I'm hungry, my stomach hurts. That's part of the process.
Yeah.
You're becoming a beast. Guess what? When he does this for 3 months and he goes just look in the mirror, he's going to be like, damn, I'm a beast. I never imagined the way I could look.
I believe his coach is an Olympian. I think he knows what he's doing.
Huh?
His coach. I think he was not, he didn't win the Olympia, but he is an Olympian. Olympia.
You mean he competed in the Olympia?
Yes.
The biggest stage of all bodybuilding.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes.
But but not to say, and what I said was, listen, because she thought, should we get tested for hypothyroidism? I said, no, he doesn't have hypothyroidism. However, I thought it would be a good idea to go get some baseline blood work done before you enter into a new regimen, because then you have a baseline.
Yes.
So then you know a year from now, if you go get your blood done and there's something funky, you'll know, is this because of the things I've been doing over the past year, or has this been going on for years? Mm-hmm. So if you're making a shift in your lifestyle, it's really good, actually, really great idea to get your blood work. Because here's another example for lifestyle clients.
We both did it, remember?
If you don't get your blood work done, and a year from now, you're on a program, and then you finally do get your blood work done, and you have high cholesterol. Then you're going to be like, oh, this program I was on gave me high cholesterol. How do you know it wasn't double before you started the program?
You don't.
You don't know.
Assuming.
Right.
And assuming means you make an ass out of you and me.
Yes, assuming. Making an ass. So yeah, I actually thought blood work was a good idea. But I also thought he should stay the course until Monday, tough it out, don't deviate.
No.
And then an experienced coach will take the data, take the biofeedback, because biofeedback is important too when you talk to your client. How are you feeling? How's your sleep? How's your energy levels? Okay, let's see what the scale did. Let's look at what your body looks like. And then a good coach will take that information and make adjustments accordingly. But the suffering is part of the process.
You have to suffer. Nobody want to suffer. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants it easy in life. No. We got to suffer. We're just living in an era where things are easier. But imagine if you had to live 500 years ago. You know how much harder life was back then? So, no. We have to go through the suck sometimes in life. That's just the way it is. So, sorry, people. If this hurts your feelings and you don't want to experience that, there's no other way. Mm-hmm. If you want to lose weight, you're going to experience a little bit of suck. You're going to be a little hungry.
Yeah, you're going to be hungry.
That's the way it goes.
And some of the other things, that's what I really wanted to discuss, is things you can expect, like when you start a calorie deficit. So for sure, hunger, because your body is used to the amount of food it used to get. So it doesn't like the fact that it's going to be forced to dip into savings, which is your stored body fat. It doesn't like that. That's not a natural process. It doesn't want to do that. Just like we don't like to dip into our savings accounts to pay bills.
True. You're right. Yeah.
Your body doesn't like to do that too. So you know how sometimes instead of dipping into savings account, you'll just figure out a way to make more money so you don't have to dip into your savings?
Yes.
Your body is doing that. Let's figure out a way to get more calories so we don't have to dip into stored body fat. How does your body do that? It releases a hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin, to me, ghrelin sounds exactly like what it is, doesn't it? Like think about your stomach growling. Yeah. Ghrelin. Your stomach growling. And that is the hunger hormone.
Yes, like feed me.
So you will release ghrelin in an attempt to get you to consume more calories. You have to refuse it. You have to not respond to it.
Is there any medications out there or pills that block that feeling?
Well,
do you have anything? The blocks ghrelin?
Welcome to the world of
I'm curious of the
fat loss medications, Ozempic, and all of those things.
That's what that does?
It alters
Blocks
both your brain and, yes, the release of ghrelin. That is how those medications work, because they combat hunger. So you are not hungry, so you don't overeat, and it puts you into a calorie deficit. That's exactly what those medications do. That's also what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because if you don't want to, if you're not obese and you don't need weight loss medication and injections, you can do other things to combat that hunger. So that's the kind of the tips I wanted to give you guys, because it's a big deal. The biggest thing you're going to encounter in a calorie deficit is hungry. And in order to have results, you have to be consistent on that deficit. So if you answer the hunger, you're not going to get results. So what do? We have to try to combat that. You can do that by making sure you are eating a lot of protein.
Yes, that's
very important that you are eating whatever your target is. You could even go over that target as long as you stay within your calorie limit. That'll just, it'll take some calories away from carbs or fats, but it'll help you stay satisfied. Also, making sure the calories you are consuming, that they are worth it. That they are something that you're going to spend those calories on something that's going to actually satisfy your hunger. Don't waste calories on liquid calories if you're struggling with hunger, because those don't keep you full.
No, not at all. Not one bit. Sometimes they make you more hungry.
Yeah, it does not make you
sugary drinks.
Full.
Yeah.
Like a 300 calorie, even like a 300 calorie like liquid protein shake is not going to keep you as full as like 300 calorie piece of chicken.
True.
So spend wisely if hunger is your struggle. If hunger is the reason why you're not able to stay consistent, spend those calories wisely with more protein.
And protein has the highest thermic effect on the body.
Yeah, so actually, because of that, so what that means is that it takes a lot of calories for our body to digest protein. So the net effect on a diet that's high in protein will be less net calories. So, for example, like if you consume 100 calories worth of chicken, it'll actually take the body 25 calories in order to digest that chicken. So really, you get a bigger deficit benefit. You're only consuming 75 calories.
Yeah.
So think about this. The more calories that you get from protein, the bigger your deficit is, and you don't even realize it. It's increasing your deficit by 25%.
Oh, wow.
Of those protein calories.
Yeah.
Things like carbohydrates and fats are less thermic. So like carbohydrates, if you consume 100 calories worth of like broccoli, it's going to maybe take like 3 calories to digest it.
Yeah,
so it's a big difference.
Yeah,
big difference.
Yeah.
It adds up. And the thermic effect, it does add up. It's not like tons of calories, but cumulatively
so that's
makes
why
a difference.
you're comparing 300 calorie protein shake or a 300 calorie piece of chicken, because the protein shakes can go right through you.
Well, no, it's still protein.
I mean, what I mean by that,
so it still has a thermic effect, but liquid calories in general digest quicker.
Yes.
And they're not as satiating because of volume.
The
in
body
your
doesn't
stomach.
have to break it down as much either.
Right, because think about it's that process.
Yes.
It's because it is fast digesting, right? Because it's like liquid calories versus volume calories in your stomach. Is when your stomach is empty, it's going to release more ghrelin, right? Mm-hmm. But the liquid calories don't fill your stomach for very long. But on that same topic, things that will help keep that full feeling longer, fiber.
Yeah.
Fiber. So like psyllium husk. I actually have a supplement that I take when I'm really hungry and struggling. I'll throw a teaspoon of psyllium husk, powdered psyllium husk in some water, and I drink it. It is going to almost create like a gluey, fiberish, like blob in your stomach that's slow digesting and delays gastric emptying, and will keep you fuller longer.
Yeah.
So you could do something like that before meals as well to like help with that hunger.
There you have it.
Also, something to keep in mind during your calorie deficit is that, just like in the case of my friend's son, you may lose water weight. if you are suddenly consuming less carbohydrates than you were previously, which probably you are, because in a deficit, you probably just are consuming less carbohydrates. That initial weight loss you see on the scale is water.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, because sometimes I think people get excited and they say like, oh my gosh, this is great. So I'm going to lose a pound a day for, it's going to be so fast. No, it's going to completely halt at some point.
Yeah, it stops.
Yeah. As far as the water weight goes.
Yes.
And then, as soon as your body establishes like a new baseline. But this is where it gets tricky because not everybody is the same. If you, like a lot of people, are starting your calorie deficit, but you're also starting a fitness program, you're not going to see that water drop off because you might lose water, but you might also hold on to water in the form of glycogen in your muscles because you're starting a new exercise program. So your body's like, oh my gosh, Susie Q's starting to work out now. We need to hold on to more glycogen in the muscles to have it ready to go. Well, that will increase the scale. So maybe that 3 pounds you lost on the scale, you're not going to see it because you also are retaining more glycogen in your muscles. So now, 3 days in, you've seen 0 change on the scale.
Yeah.
It's not to say that things aren't happening.
It's true.
It's just that things are also happening.
Yes. You gotta let nature take its course and do what it needs to do. You can't rush this process. I think everybody wants instant gratification.
Yeah,
is the problem.
And I feel like perceived change is so much higher than what's actually, the speed of what's actually happening.
Yeah.
You go from the couch potato, to suddenly eating in a calorie deficit, working out, all that. After 5 days, you feel like you are doing all the things. You feel like you just worked your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Step on a scale, no change. Because you're holding more water from muscles. You've only been on a deficit for 5 days. You've probably lost a tiny, tiny bit of fat.
Yes.
It's not reflecting. You look in the mirror, you expect to see this massive change, and then you're deflated. And then there goes the motivation.
Deflated. Then
here comes the weekend.
And that's when the food demons haunt you. They're like, you ready to eat?
You're like, man, I just worked so hard and it's not working. It's working.
What do we read? You got to set realistic goals. It says that something why people get deflated.
Yes.
Because their expectation goals are they're out of the reach. What I mean by that is you're not going to see a difference within a week or two or even a month.
Your expectations are not realistic.
Yes.
You have to have realistic expectations, and that's an important role of your coach.
Yeah.
Is your coach setting realistic expectations for you?
Yes.
And giving you realistic things to work on. Because it's also not realistic to be that person that does all the things right off the couch. Like they start their transformation, they are walking 10,000 steps. They used to walk 2,000. They are eating in a deficit. They used to eat 1,000 more calories a day. They are working out 5 times a week. They had never stepped into a gym. They are taking supplements. They're doing, that's a million things. Guess what's going to happen? You feel like you're doing so many things. You're going to expect this massive transformation after a week, 2, even 3 weeks. You're not going to feel rewarded because you're not going to see the reflection of your work. And so it's so overwhelming, all the things you're doing, you're just going to stop doing everything.
Yep.
It's much better to ease into things and kind of like layer in.
Learn yourself. Learn about you. You're gonna have bumps along the way. You're not gonna be absolutely perfect when you're starting a new nutrition program or workout, whatever. You're gonna have bumps along the way. You're gonna have those daily battles of, do I eat this? Do I eat that? Do I go to the gym today? Do I not? And that's okay. You just got to get through it, one day at a time.
And the most important thing, I think, is setting realistic action goals. You know, what I mean by that is set realistic action goals for yourself, like in the moment. Like if you're just first starting out, like I just had this conversation with my clients. I'm like, listen, if you are struggling, I know that doing all the things is tempting, but if you can't even stay consistent with your food volume, I don't want you worrying about anything else. I just want you to count your calories. Let's go like 1985 and just count calories and pretend that that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then we can get a little bit more, complicated with it and be like, okay, let's also track protein, because protein's going to help you with that deficit. Keeping it high is going to help you stay on the calorie limit. But let's just focus on that and nothing else. It was interesting. I actually had a client who said, man, I'm so glad I came to Coach's Chat, because I do like a weekly Coach's Chat. She goes, because I thought that I was messing up because I kept being over on my fats, but I was hitting my protein and I was in my calorie limit, but I was so frustrated. I felt like I was failing. So I just stopped tracking. I was like, oh my gosh, no. It's okay if you're over on your fats. It just means if you're staying within your calorie limit, it just means your carbs are lower. Yeah. People get fixated on little rules, and keep in mind that the more rules that you set on yourself, the more times you're going to fail, and your brain doesn't like failing. Mm-mm. So it's important to remember that. So your brain likes to be rewarded, and your brain likes success. Your brain likes to achieve goals. So set really freaking tiny goals for yourself.
See, there's a problem. Is people are chasing the physical. That's the problem. You gotta start with the mentals up here. Mm-hmm. The physical will follow. It's all up here. I keep saying it. It's not. Stop looking at the physical and stop trying to see change in the physical. Work on your damn mind. Mm-hmm. Master that mind. The body will follow. Master the mind. You have to master the mind. Yeah. Everything starts with the brain. Listen, you're not special because you're disciplined. You choose to be. You chose that way. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like you were born with discipline and I'm going to cut this out. No, you chose. You're making a choice and you're staying within your discipline and you're staying consistent. That's why you're successful. That's the only difference. People just don't. They just change this. They look at the mirror and they're chasing the physical. Mm-hmm. You got to work on your mind. And
I know that it's going through the suck. I know that's part of the process.
Yes, and it does suck. For me too, it sucks. I love to eat just like anybody else. I love all that bad food. Donuts, pizza, burgers, fries.
We love all that stuff.
Yes, but got to have limits on yourself, man. You have to cap off limits. You have to tell yourself, I can only have one cheat meal a week.
Yeah.
Not the whole day. Not twice a week. You got to set limits on yourself. You have to be your own police. No one else can police you but yourself. Not your coach, not your mom, not your dad, not the dogs, yourself.
And here's the thing. I'm not saying that you got to eat chicken and broccoli.
No.
You can have, and I'm proof because I share what my calorie deficit meals are. You can have plenty of food, delicious meals, treats, and still stay within your calorie limit.
Yes.
So, it's not necessarily that you are deprived. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that style. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. I think it sets people up for failure.
Yes, it does.
And there's absolutely no reason for extreme deprivation. Or let me tell you, oh my God, I cannot handle all of the New Year's diets and coaching programs that came out. Like all these diets that make it complicated on purpose.
You seen it?
Yeah, I just see it. Like
all the
they make it complicated because then it feels like you need the program. I think that companies and some coaches, they purposely they want to make themselves needed, so they'll make something feel complicated. And maybe it's to my detriment.
Complicated and sound important, our program, look how legit it is. They're throwing big fancy words.
This is my low carb day. So I can't have this and that because I have to have a low carb day after a high carb day. That's a bunch of baloney.
Fake news.
You do not. What are your goals?
Myth-busting news.
I mean, let's break it down. What are your goals? Yeah. Lifestyle changes, health, weight loss. You don't need a carb cycle. You do not need to cycle carbs if you are doing this for lifestyle transformations. Period. These programs that sound cool. They have these real specific macros that you have to hit each day. And oh my gosh, it's a high carb day. Yay, it's a high carb day. You can make every fucking day a high carb day. As long as you're staying within your calorie limit.
Yep.
Don't buy the hype, you guys. Don't buy the rules. Don't buy the fact that you can't eat bread or you can't eat pasta or you can't. I do all the things.
Yeah.
And I'll show you.
They've been demonized. The pastas, the breads. Oh no, you can't have that because there's carbs and starches.
And listen, I am the statistic, okay? I am a perimenopausal, if not menopausal woman who's almost 47 years old, who has now entered into a calorie deficit. During that calorie deficit, I will be eating, and have been eating, bread, pasta. I've had a Magnum ice cream bar every single day since I started my deficit, and I'll let the results speak for themselves.
That's it.
I mean, because the results are there. The results are coming. I see them. I already feel them. You know, what am I, 19 days in? Almost 3 weeks into a deficit, and I already feel the difference. And I'm supposedly, because I'm perimenopausal and it's hormones, a calorie deficit doesn't work. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
It works.
Yes,
it
it
still
does.
works.
What was your daughter eating the other night for a snack instead of ice cream?
Cereal.
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes.
And guess what? She makes it work within her macros.
Yeah, because you can.
She makes it work.
Don't believe the hype. Don't buy into the fact that you think you need to have this really specialized, super strict regime because of a condition you have, or the studies don't support that. The studies still support that a calorie deficit works. The challenge becomes figuring out what that deficit is based on your protocol, based on your statistics, your limitations, your conditions.
Yeah.
Because it does impact that to some degree. But don't buy the hype, because it's simply not true.
Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
People overthink and overcomplicate things. You don't need to. And you know another thing that I read recently? Your body doesn't know whether the eggs were raised correctly. What is it? They have cage free and all that. Versus whether on the pen.
Yeah, they say it's largely overhyped.
Yeah. Same thing with meat.
It's
Is it better to get
overhyped.
grass-fed meat versus grain-fed? Yeah, but your body, it doesn't know it's meat. It just knows it's protein. It doesn't differentiate whether it's organic or not, guys.
it's
That's what I'm trying to get to.
The benefits are largely inflated, and so are the prices.
Yes.
And then they make people feel like they have to have a lot of money in order to be healthy.
Yes.
So if they don't have a lot of money, they just think, I can't do it because I can't afford that. It's not true. Go to Walmart. Go to Costco. Buy what you can. You do not have to buy the organic, cage-free, humanely this, that, and the other in order to reach your health and fitness goals. Don't be shamed out of eating your Frosted Flakes. Or milk, for that matter. If you don't have it, we just talked about this. Milk is so nutrient dense, but it's been vilified. If you do not have a reason not to drink milk because of your health, because of you have an intolerance to dairy. If you don't have an intolerance and you tolerate it well, milk is very nutritious. It's got tons of protein in it, calcium, lots of amazing health benefits. So if you don't have a reason to avoid milk, you do not need to avoid milk. It is another one that's lumped into the pasta, bread,
Yes.
everything
Dairy,
in
cheese,
moderation. Yeah, dairy. And dairy's got a bad rap big time, but it has lots and lots of nutrients. All right, you guys, so hopefully we have shed some light on some things you can expect in a calorie deficit, maybe some ways to help you through that calorie deficit. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.